Well, a very good day to you. Welcome to Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. Definitely, my name is Evan Sokinyi. Such a pleasure to have you on board. Of course, I'm joined by Professor Herman Manyora, who we want to discuss with a number of issues, if not a raft of issues that are actually taking place in this country with regards to the governance and, of course, what it is that the government of the President William Ruto is doing so far to make the lives of Kenyans better right now. Prof, how are you?
I'm okay.
Let's get straight into the conversation. Here we are. Farmers in the North Rift are actually lamenting and crying foul. They're saying that they have now to sell their maize at throwaway prices to the middlemen there, and especially from Uganda and neighboring countries such as Tanzania. They're saying that the government has failed to come up with the recommended retail price upon which they're supposed to sell and actually get their produce, the profit from the produce that they've actually harvested. At the same time, we are also hearing sentiments of the government allowing importation of maize from abroad, especially the yellow maize. They're talking of duty-free maize from abroad. Now, I want us to get this. Where does this now leave our farmers, especially after this kind of bumper harvest?
Everybody in this country is on their own. There has never been a government for the people since we became independent. So if farmers think the government is for them, who unto them? There's nothing like that. Because if government was for the farmers, there's so much government would do. When you hear government talk of fertilizer, subsidy, it's not because government loves farmers. It's because two things will happen. First of all, government will have something to say it has done. Government will be achieving populism because we have done something. Subsidized from 7,000 to 2,000. The second thing this fertilizer will do is to enable a few people to become billionaires. It's not about loving farmers. Nobody has ever loved farmers. So farmers must go about their business knowing that nobody cares for them. They should. The sooner they knew that, the better. They should begin working out whether to stop planting maize, whether to do value addition. You know, they have to figure out because government is not for them. Government has never been for the farmers in this country. If government was for farmers, farmers would just be laughing all the way to the bank, all the way to the bank. Yeah.
Now, let's have it here. Of course, the president came on board and said that they actually want to make some sort of a complete departure from the kind of policies that were put in by the former regime. Of course, the policies that they blamed for whatever it is that perhaps the economic turmoil that the country used to go during that kind of period. And that is why the issue of subsidizing production came into view here. Now, let's have it straight. The president said very well that they'll actually do subsidy of the production of agricultural products, especially maize there. And right now we can see the bumper harvest is already there. Now that you're saying that governments do not actually care about perhaps the farmers or do not love the farmers, which option do our farmers have at the end of the day? Because these people have to feed their children, they have to pay school fee as well.
Let me repeat. Government does not care about farmers or anybody else for that matter. It's not the Ruto government, it's not the Uhuru government, not the Kibaki government, all governments since independence. When government appears to be coming with intervention like fertilizer, I have told you it's to make a few people rich because in the whole process of giving fertilizer, it was revealed how people made billions. Secondly, it is to appear populist. It is to appear that it's something you are doing, not because you love the farmers. Now, as to what farmers will do, they have to figure out. This is a capitalistic world. You have to figure it out. If you plant crops that do not give you returns, you do something else. You try something, or you stop farming. Yeah, you can lease your land to somebody who wants to do something else. You can go into horticulture. Maize in this country cannot pay. And that's why when government talks of food security, I just laugh. Government is not interested in food security. We will continue witnessing Kenyans die because what happens when there is a harvest like this and there's no market, the man who had done 20 acres farming next year cannot do 20. He can only do less. Some of them nothing. Because if you have maize and you can't sell, but because government is aware, and you should be aware, people who live in those maize growing zones, everything comes from maize. School fees, next tilling, next planting, seed, clothing, everything. I grew up in those areas. If you did not buy a pant, Kinyasa, in December, you will never buy. They forgot when your father was, when your people were trying to organize how much maize to sell, who needs what, how much money for Christmas, how much money for fish, and so and so will get a shirt. So huyu kinyaza yake imepasuka. If they forgot you, you live with that tone kinyaza until December, and that it is still majorly like that. So what happens then? You will not see your children fail to go to school in January because there's no market. You'll give maize a throwaway. This happens year in, year out. Every year that happens. Government says they are going to buy maize for strategic reserves. This is called National Cereal and Produce Board. But strategically they keep away from buying like now. Strategically. Colluding with middlemen. Then farmers have nobody to buy. Then the middlemen have a kill. Then National Cereals Board appears to buy now. And when they appear to buy, they come with a lot of conditions. Moisture content, sijui brown maize, coloration is called, UQ. They just frustrate you until the middlemen take all your maize. And government is watching. So which government loves farmers? There has never been one. Never. And farmers should know that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, talk to me about the government's decision. Of course, that kind of decision by the government was just affirmed the other day by the President William Ruto, that they have decided to import duty-free maize from abroad. Now, does it really make logic when we've got farmers who are suffering down here?
It completely confirms what I'm saying. Government does not love farmers. Government has no time for farmers. Government pays lip service to food security. This government talks of GMR, guaranteed minimum returns. Before you get to the level of guaranteed minimum returns, meaning you must have figured out marketing. So it's lip service. If government loved farmers, how can they import maize now that there's too much maize in the country that has no market? How can, for animals, which animals? By estimates from government, not from Manyora, estimates from government, we have or are going to harvest surplus beyond our need for consumption. That extra should be used for animal feed, the excuse they are giving. This is just an excuse to bring in maize. And not all maize that will come in will be yellow. We know this country. People say it's yellow. More than 80% may not necessarily be yellow. It will come and join the market. And even if you add animal feed, there is excess maize in the market beyond our capacity to consume. Why can't we get from farmers maize for animal feed? Who says if our animals feed on this good maize, they will die? So you can see the government is not serious. The same government will go out begging next year because Kenyans are dying of hunger. Now Kenyans will not harvest well because when the weather has been nice, the crop has done well. It's not always the crop does well. And it's not about this fertilizer. Fertilizer could have assisted. But this off and on thing, this year harvest is good, 2-3 years harvest is good, another year harvest is bad, for whatever factors. One may wish to think it's fertilizer. It's okay, they are allowed. But I know, everybody knows, statistics will show you that harvests, yields keep changing year in, year out. For 3-4 years, good harvest. Another 2-3 years, bad harvest, drought, bad fertilizer, bad seed, all sorts of factors. Disillusioned farmers, because if the previous year, if for the last 2 years farmers have been doing great work on their farms, producing good harvest, and the market has been very frustrating, you expect in the next 2-3-4 years, farmers will not be as enthusiastic about farming as they have been, and therefore the yields will go down. So this bumper harvest, whatever the reason, why can't we buy the maize even for animal feed? Why should we import maize? That's why I'm telling you, we have never had a government that cares for people. Never. since independence.
Here we have the president actually has reiterated again his approach towards production. They are in saying that this year, of course, next year, he's saying that the number of fertilizers that would be brought into the country would actually increase now from 5 million to 7 million. Therein saying very well that, of course, right now he said that they were in agreement with around 4 million farmers who are supposed to benefit directly from the number of bags therein. I wonder whether this project, or rather this kind of approach that the government has actually termed pragmatic, is viable right now, if at all it will actually surface in solving the food crisis that the country is suffering from.
Which thing?
The kind of approach that,
approach?
Of course, of subsidizing production, that is. President Ruto has said...
Nobody has subsidized production.
But no, he's talked of the subsidized fertilizer.
Fertilizer is not subsidized.
But that is what the president has said.
That is a joke. That is you know...
if you go everywhere, utasikia mbolea Ruto is around.
You know... I love this country, and I keep telling Kenyans, learn to be serious. Mutajikuta kwa shimo siku moja. Fertilizer landed in Kenya, commercial rates will be cheaper than this subsidized fertilizer. Let anybody come and challenge me. Anybody. And I'll tell you the sources of fertilizer. From this country, from this country, from this country. Landed in Mombasa. Landed, if there's no tax, maybe 1,500. So what is this nonsense about subsidized fertilizer? It's nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that. So you go to Morocco and bring fertilizer here. If it's in Mombasa, landed and packed in bags, 50 kg bags, it cannot be more than 2,000 shillings. No. Go to Russia, go to Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah, go to Belgium. Was it? Yeah. Go. No, is it Norway? They did Norway, yeah. People, Ukraine, Russia, Morocco, and so on and so forth. Fertilizer producing countries. They will tell you they will bring you fertilizer Mombasa here at 1,500. So which subsidized fertilizer is this? These are just games people are playing to eat.
Okay. The economic situation in the country, Prof, is dire. The Deputy President said, in as much as you're trying to refute the fact that they've said that are actually subsidizing production in terms of bringing in subsidized fertilizer, but they say that in as much as there is what we call runaway cost of living and runaway cost of oil, perhaps therein to say, they said the much that they can do is subsidize on the fertilizer, and they still insist on that up to now. But then we've got a cost of living here to solve. Farmers are crying, they're having to sell their prices at thrown away price, just as we've discussed here. So are we going to solve this issue of the cost of living in the country anytime soon?
No, we cannot.
So what will it take us to solve it?
If you want to make food available in this country, first you look at land. Who owns land? Who uses land? Who is not using land? Secondly, you realize that maize can be grown economically large scale. So government will get land for land scale maize production. Not Gulana Kulala where you are irrigating. No, maize should not be irrigated in this country. We should irrigate horticultural produce, not maize. Where there's ample rainfall. Put all the factors into play. Let government encourage large scale production. Let government remove small scale farmers from maize production. It's not economical. Give them viable options. Okay? That way, then you look at marketing. Once they have produced, who markets? But the way government is approaching it is just a big joke. You need a fertilizer plant in this country. You need to have policies on land use, land tenure and land use. Then you can do it, but the way it is now is a waste of time. You can't. You can't.
So you're saying this cannot work for us?
What? Next year there will be the same problem we are in. This has been going on for the last 60 years. Farmers grow maize, it does well for a year or two, no market. They are disillusioned and discouraged. They make losses. They plant less. They care less. They attend less to it. They put less fertilizer. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. The yields go down. It's been a seesaw kind of thing. So this is a good harvest this year. You can reduce it to your fertilizer if you wish. I know otherwise. But let's say it's because of your fertilizer. It's because it's not true. Even the number of bags cannot produce that amount of maize. So, but let's say that's the reason. Here they have maize. Nobody's buying the maize. Middlemen are exploiting farmers. and you are up there on rooftops of cars beating your chest that we are subsidizing agriculture. Why don't you make a market for this maize? This maize, government can even buy all of it. This country, we always produce about 45 million bags against consumption of about 50 million bags. We are told this year it will be about 65 million bags. Why can't we take the 10 million and make it animal feed? That one, this company that produces animal feed can buy within a month, all of it. Okay? Then the remaining 45 or 50 million bags, government can organize to buy most of it, so long as there's capacity for storage, so that you do not discourage farmers. Government can even go to farmers' homes and tell you, we can estimate you have 100 bags. We are giving you 5,000 per bag. Million yako tano ndio hiyo. Is it million tano 500,000, whatever it is, 500,000. There's your money. You have 1,000 bags? Yes. Keep it in your store. We shall come for it. Get your 5 million. Fanyia mambo yako. Government can do all that. And by the way, it's not even a lot of money. If you are talking about 50 million bags of maize times 5 million, how much money is that? That's not a lot of money to government. Government should not allow farmers to be exploited by middlemen.
So they have the capacity to make...
Government has a capacity. I don't know, I wish I had a calculator. Some of these people, wanajifanya kina Richard hapa, economist. 50 million times 5,000. I don't know how much that money is. It's about 25 billion of, I don't know how much. Is it 250? It's money government can afford.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was 5 million times, it's about, how many zeros there? Maybe, I don't know, maybe about 25 billion or 250, whatever it is. But money government can afford to buy all the maize, because government will not buy all. They are users like millers. Millers will work together with the government and ensure they have bought maize from farmers, even when they are not carrying the maize. So government is buying, millers are buying, those who do animal feeds are buying, so that we have mopped up all the maize. Farmers have money in their pockets. They can take their children to schools in January. They can plow their land next year. They can even increase acreage.
Well and good, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from Professor Herman Manyora here. Tell us what you are thinking of the government's kind of policy right now that we're witnessing with regards to perhaps the importation of duty-free maize from abroad. Yet our farmers are saying they've got adequate maize that needs actually to be bought by the government, so that we actually witness a change in the cost of living that is actually affecting a number of Kenyans, and so many households have to grapple with at the moment. Allow me to stop this conversation at this particular moment, but please do subscribe to our channel here. And if at all you're watching us for the first time, please know very well that we shall be bringing to you a number of programs here. Richard Mwenji is always here, as well as Jeriel Kabiro, and of course Brad Mundia with the Opinion Scope. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans.